All right, JJ's back.
All right, that should be a lot better. How about that?
It's good, but I'm not getting a lot of background noise. You can turn it down a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Still getting a lot of background noise. It's a very sensitive mic, so it's picking up everything in the room.
How about now? Is that better?
Oh, you're super fucking quiet now.
All right. Never give up. How about now?
Nope, sorry. God damn, man.
Yeah, this is it's
You got a
cooperating
laptop?
today. Yeah, I'm on my laptop.
You're on your laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got a different audio setup that you can plug in?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay. He'll keep working on that. Well, let's talk about paper wallets. You guys keep asking about paper wallets, and that'd be a lot of fun. All right. Off to a slow start in the AMA. Sometimes they're a lot more fluid, but that's okay. There's no mistakes. There's only happy accidents. All right. So let me show you guys something really cool. So first off, we'll do a whiteboard video because I know how much everybody likes whiteboards. And we're going to do them live. I love doing live whiteboard videos. How about that? So let me just go ahead and open up my whiteboard here, and we will do all kinds of crazy cool stuff with it. Loading the board content. Yeah, exactly right, an art reference. You guys remember our good friend. Format background. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Share screen. Okay. Not a brave tab, the entire screen. Wow! There we go. All right. So we have here this desire to build a paper wallet. So a paper wallet at its core is basically just a place to store a private key that's never been never is written in air quotes online. Okay, so it was generated in an air gapped computer. It's never been online, and it's a place to store that. And because it has an associated public key, what you can do is you can send funds to it, and basically those funds can build up. And because it's never been online, the paper wallet should ideally be a very secure mechanism. So you can take your paper wallet, put it into an envelope, and then this can go into something like a safe, and then that safe would basically be a nice place for that to sit for 10 years. And then when you're ready to go, you crack open the letter, and you can have maybe keywords or whatever the heck is that paper wallet. All right, so one of the things I wanted to do was introduce this concept of a QR code pair, where you would have a public QR code, and then you would have a private QR code. And the private QR code would actually be encrypted. So it'd have an encrypted payload. And generally, that could be something like keywords or the actual private key, whatever. And you'd encrypt with a PGP key, similar to like a PGP style email. So under the hood, how PGP works is that would be a symmetric key K that's generated with AES, and then that K key would be encrypted with the public key of that. And that PGP key would be on something like a YubiKey. So you're reusing that infrastructure or a Nitro key or any type of hardware. Then these two things together would be a PDF that the system generates, and then that PDF would be what you print. So then your recovery experience for a paper wallet would be basically you just hold up to your webcam the private QR code, and it'll scan it, and then it'll ask you to decrypt it. So you'd plug in your YubiKey or, something like that. Or if you have GPT tools, then you can just decrypt it with your GPT. So you'd have different recovery formats basically for that. Now, what's really cool about this is that, let me bring up a Google search. You can actually do animated QR codes. Okay, so let me go and share my screen again. Da-ba-dum. Present. Da-da-ba-bow. Entire screen. There we go. So you can actually do animated QR codes. So here are some examples of animated QR codes. So I click on this, and you actually see the bird is flapping a little Sonic the Hedgehog. So that'll actually scan, and it carries a data payload, and the payload is large enough in order to be able to contain a private key. So there's a lot of nifty, cool things that you can do with QR codes and make them animated. And you can actually store this completely naked. So you can actually email the PDF to yourself. And the reason being is that the PDF is encrypted, because the payload part, the part that has actually the private key or the keywords, that's encrypted with a PGP key. So one of the ideas that I had about this was saying that I would generate one, put $1 million worth of ADA in it, $1 million, which is a moving target worth of ADA, and then actually publish the PDF itself, the raw PDF with the QR code, and say if you can break it, you can keep it. Meaning that anybody who could figure out a way to unwind this would get the money. So that's kind of putting your money where your mouth is. And so I've been wanting to do that for years. And it would be really cool because you can do all kinds of animated QR codes. And this also protects you from a vector of attack called a printer attack, a printer replay attack. So the issue when you print these things out is that the buffer of your printer actually remembers prior things that it printed. So if somebody hacks into your HP printer, your Canon printer, or whatever it is, usually what they can do is order the printer to reprint documents that it's printed before. For a lot of older printers, it's a huge issue and they're not very secure. And a lot of printers are connected to Wi-Fi, which means they're actually internet accessible. So if you print your paper wallet on your printer, you may be under the mistaken belief that your printer is going to protect that. They could just simply reprint and physically take it, or potentially, depending on the model, be able to actually move it out of memory and steal the document and print it on their end. They can reroute it to a different printer. So if it's encrypted, it doesn't matter. They'll just basically get an encrypted file. And if it's PGP encrypted, meaning that, it's like the same level of encryption the internet uses, there's no way to break that with current technology. And what's nice is you can also entertain ideas like a post quantum wallet or these types of things. So it would be a really cool idea to pursue that. And it's actually not a lot of effort. Um, we just have to upgrade the hardware center. And so this is the idea of Lace, is to build something that every 3 to 6 weeks you're adding a new capability or a new feature. And at some point you kind of grow in that particular direction as the team gets more mature and the product gets out. So it starts very simple in the beginning, and then it gets gradually more complicated. And you just wake up, the whole thing's there. People have never done products before, and people have never launched anything before. They always are hypercritical, and they go immediately to Twitter and complain about everything. But it's important to remember that the iPhone actually didn't have 3G or an app store at launch.